Go from the video, isn't it? Just gotta get a little away. We're good.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another Taste of Sport video. Today we are doing a top 10 wide receivers video that'll hopefully be a bit shorter than our
It should be shorter.
quarterbacks
Because
video.
that one's a bit long.
We'll see anyway. I'm back again with JD and myself, Luke, and you can start this time with your number
Just
10.
gonna pick it up. Number 10 is a small man
A small man.
named after a piece of land.
Dude, what is this? He's been trying to give me clues on who he's picked for ages. and I
Tyreek
just
Hill.
don't know who it is. Oh.
Is 10.
Oh.
Yeah.
We have very different lists.
I had it for a while. He was in my honorable mentions for a good while. I didn't even have him
Okay.
there because of what I was. Because before I looked at
Jeez.
I looked back. I watched tape from him all last year. Basically all of them. All 12 I have. It was at 15 people at one stage, but I got it down.
Your top 10 was that 15?
I had 15
people?
of people.
Jesus.
So yeah, no, I have him there because obviously almost 1,500 yards, 17 yards per catch, 12 touchdowns on only 87 receptions. He's one of the lowest reception wise.
Yeah,
Bar players got injured.
but then one of the highest in yards.
Arguably he's probably the most dangerous because he's so fast. He's the fastest of all of them by far.
Yards
But
after catch.
I
Weapon.
just have him low down there because I don't think he has the same intangibles as the rest of them. Like I think you put he's basically kind of fella. You drop it low to him. He kind of has to be open, and it always has to be in his chest. You can't put it up in the air from the go
Yeah,
up
but
and
then
get
the
it.
speed, bro.
I know, but say if he lost the speed, he's you can't replay him then. Say if he ever got like an ankle injury or knee injury,
Yeah.
I think he drops out of the list completely because the speed is gone,
Yeah, maybe.
and he doesn't have all the skills all the other receivers have. That's why he drops so low on mine.
Plus, he does also have Mahomes.
Mahomes, but I think he's doing similar things with Alex Smith, I'm sure. But again, if he like I said, if you lose the speed, he's gone in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Right, so my number 10 is Adam Thielen, who I didn't even have in there at all
Yeah, I
until last minute.
I didn't have him in there either for a good while.
Because he's just doing things over with the Vikings.
What was the record he had last year for how many games? 100 yards? Was it 100 yards? It was 100
Oh,
yards.
it was, yeah, but I have no idea
8
how
or
many
9?
it was.
Or like 11.
A lot.
It's the most no, we fall short of the most ever.
Record-breaking stuff that has to put you in a top 10, really.
Yeah.
Although I thought his touchdown record would be much better. Because he only has 9 touchdowns on the season last season.
I looked it up when I was doing it. Diggs had 1,000 yards as well and 6 touchdowns. Last
6
season.
touchdowns,
Mm.
Jesus.
So that's
he was
why
my boy in fantasy as well.
He lost to him. He lost to, I think Dalvin Cook had a few. Because Cousins had like 30 touchdowns last season.
Yeah.
People didn't even know about it.
There was a lot shared around, so.
I like him, but he wasn't.
Thielen's a reliable man to get you down the field, so
And
that's why I had to put him in there.
then looking at how he's playing already from the first preseason game, he's already catching up again to what he's doing last year.
Yeah.
He seems more into it.
Yeah.
My number 9 is TDTY Hilton. I had 9. I had him pretty low down.
I don't have him in.
What are you talking about? What?
I considered it and I just didn't put him in. Because I didn't know who I'd drop out instead of him.
Absolutely lethal. Oh, he's named after a hotel for a reason.
Was that who you were?
Yeah. But we think about it, he had Eric Ebron and all them around him, and he had only 76 catches, and he was almost 17 yards per catch every time he got the ball.
Jesus.
And
He was injured a lot as well, wasn't
He 14 games.
he? Oh.
He didn't start. I think he started
bad.
12 because he was game time decisions.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had 12, almost 1,300 yards, 6 touchdowns because of Ebron had like 15. So and he had a lot taken away from that way. But I think Ty is the kind of
Ebron
fella.
was the red zone man.
He's strong. He's quick. He can get his release. His release off the line is
He's
unbelievable.
surprisingly strong.
The way like when you look at him, he's kind of bandy. He doesn't look he'd be strong.
Yeah.
But him and Luck is like I said. I love him in the first place anyway. I drafted him fantasy about 3 years in a row. But no, when you watch him, I think he's the kind of fella. He's not a short like he's not the kind of he's not. I wouldn't put him in a slant kind of slot. You never put him slot receiver. There's some receivers in there.
Yeah.
You can move to slot the odd time. Like Tyreek Hill is a slot man, but I don't think you'd put T.Y. there. I don't think he has that kind of separation off a player. But when you put it up there for him, he's going to take it away from a player. That's why he's my number 9.
Yeah, no, I think he has surprising strength.
Hmm.
Because you look at him, he doesn't look like much.
Oh, he boiled a few fellas over last season.
Yeah.
It's just
Didn't he
injuries
get,
and
or was that maybe the season before, where he got like knocked the fuck out by someone?
not Brandon Cooks?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
That was twice.
That's true.
He also got knocked out in the Super Bowl, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So no, it wasn't
Yeah,
him.
that was my mix up there. So, my number 9 is Juju Smith-Schuster. who I was going to put way higher.
I should have taken days that low, don't I?
But I moved him down because he hasn't done it. He hasn't done enough to deserve it yet.
He was nowhere even in consideration.
This season, though,
of mine.
this season is going to be the one for him.
I
can see it coming.
didn't even have in consideration to win.
Really.
It's probably biased.
That's because you hate the Steelers.
I still wouldn't. I would. The fellas I have in there's one fella you could probably swap out for in the honorable mentions, but I wouldn't put him in. Top 10
for last year when he had Antonio Brown still on the team, he had 111 receptions, 1,426 yards, and 7 touchdowns.
God, he threw the ball a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, with Antonio Brown getting pretty much everything, you got to respect the fact that he still got those stats.
The fact he had more catches than Antonio Brown last season.
Really? Oh yeah, that's sure I would know that.
Maybe. And Antonio Brown only missed like 2 or 3 games, if even last season, which is surprising me.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
No one liked him.
And he'll be getting the ball in the end zone this year, in the red zone.
I think they'll be better than people think they are. They'll be.
I think Juju will be elite. Elite.
I think
I've been saying that all off season.
I just can't stand the man in general. My number 8 is my boy, who I wanted to put higher, but
okay, this could be the same.
Couldn't really put him up there. Is Devontae Adams.
Oh, okay.
I had him at 8. He's had last 3 years that over 10 touchdowns a season. He had 1,300 yards, almost 1,400, 12 yards a catch, and over 100 receptions. I just think the man, him and Rodgers together seem to know just click everything to do. It's just whatever way. Like obviously, receivers supposed to know the ball's going to go on a route, but it's almost like even when Adams has to like inherently change it. Like if he's doing a slant, he's go to a go instead. It's like Rodgers and him know exactly where to put anyway. Yeah. And I don't think there's anyone better off the line from either. When he starts off the line, his release off the line, he just completely fucks fellas out of it. Not even strength. Just one shimmy and he's gone straight out. He's
got the moves.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to the end zone. If like most receivers struggle when it comes to 5 or 10 yards out. I think he's the best. I think he's the best red zone wide receiver in the league. Even though I haven't that low, but I think he's the best red zone.
Bold statement for number 8.
I just couldn't. Just when you look at the other fellas, what they've done, what they've had to deal with. He's had Rodgers, and last year they struggled so much last year, and he was still the main man with them last year.
Yeah.
I just think that he made a lot out of whatever struggles with her last year, and I had him up higher, but I had to try and take the bias over and put him.
I feel like we've both moved our receivers around so much.
It took me at least an hour to get 1 or 2 positions.
So my number 8, who I don't even think I had in there for a long time, but then I rammed him up, was Mike Evans.
I was afraid you wouldn't even have him in there. Mother of God.
No, I have him in. But looking at his stats, oh my God, 86 receptions and 1,500 yards.
Oh, he was
and 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, like almost 18 yards a catch.
Yeah,
what he had last season.
That is disgusting.
Every year he's the same.
I think he has. Yeah, he has the least amount of receptions in my top 10, and almost the most amount of yards.
You think he had?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he had the most. He had one of the highest. Well, listen, I think he was the highest. He had the highest yards per catch, so he did the most with whatever he's given.
And the quarterback situation with his team last year didn't help.
Oh, it's just ridiculous.
Tampa's quarterback situation needs to be sorted.
That's what he didn't. The only thing with him is like again, I think what separates him and Devontae Adams from each other is, well, in that one sense, is that Evans he has to go deep. He has to go deep, or he has to make the way the offense is set up. He had to make himself succeed, basically.
Yeah, he had to make the plays.
So like that's why I don't think he'd made. That's why I think his touchdowns were lower than what they should have been. I think he should have had at least nearly around 15. I think last year. If he wasn't put, like they might be on their own 10, and he gets him up to the 40 just because he puts it. I think he's really underrated by a lot of people just because he's in Tampa Bay.
I mean, maybe this year it'll be a different story because they actually might have one quarterback.
I think Bruce Arians, who's in there now, he should hopefully help the offense a lot. This season.
That could be a team to watch out for. You never know.
I don't trust James Winston. I like him, but I can't say it. My 7, who would have been a lot higher. He would have been
my 7
easily. He would have been top 5 for me if he wasn't injured last year. AJ Green.
Ooh.
At my 7. He only played 9 games last year, which is ridiculous.
He's not even in my top 10. I
can take it because he was only 9 games last year.
Because he dies all the time.
That's what I mean. I just think when it comes to he had always like 9 games, 700 yards nearly, 6 touchdowns, 15 yards a catch, only 45 catches. I think he's arguably one of he's up there with Julio Jones comes a physically gifted up there.
Mm.
I think he's just when he's healthy, and it's sad seeing the situation he's in Cincinnati because I think he's a completely wasted talent in Cincinnati because he's only had Andy Dalton the last few years, and Andy Dalton can't win a playoff game.
Trash.
Can't get him to the playoffs. He's had terrible coaches. I don't think he's sitting. He should he's the kind of fellow I'd like to see. This is a bit biased, but he's like a Randy Moss, getting a bit older. You're still there. Just go to the Patriots and get a ring.
I mean, what I'd like to see is for him to actually stay fit for a season. I think since I've started watching football, which isn't that long, by the way, I think I'm pretty sure he's only had one healthy season.
I think his career. He's 31 now. I think he's on 31, which is ridiculous.
He's injured again this preseason, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think he's supposed to be there week 1.
Jesus.
He's only. I think last year was his worst season of injuries with 9.
Yeah.
I think he's been pushing around between the 12 and kind of 15 range every year.
Mm.
He's never. I think maybe his rookie season he had 16 games, but other than that, his injuries are ridiculous. He's not getting injuries you can. But the injuries you get, he seems to come back and he still looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
He'll catch anything. He's faster than you think he is.
I mean, he looks good as new when he comes back.
Every time.
It doesn't last long.
No, and I think it's his situation he put in as well with them. Who's your 7?
I just couldn't put him in because of the injuries.
That's why I dropped him so low. I would have had him top 5 easily, but his injuries last
My
season.
7 is Devontae Adams. So.
I tell you, he's in there. That's fine. He's better than I thought he'd be. I was afraid you wouldn't put him in
And I'm a pirate and you had him.
I was very afraid to put him in
just because obviously I love Green Bay with the jersey and all, you know. So I'd probably put him up a bit higher just because of the team factor.
I would. Like I said, I couldn't put him up there any higher just because of the fellas I have above him are just they're the kind of fellas that have proved it over and over and over.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of his, from my opinion, a lot of his end zone skill is when he gets what he gets it from.
But his relationship with Aaron Rodgers as well is just automatic. So.
And it's weird because they're both neither of them are very Rodgers is out there, but Adams doesn't say much about either of them really.
It just works.
He just does his business and goes home.
Yep.
My 6 then is the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. It's Michael Thomas.
Oh my God! You had him that low.
6, yeah.
Oh no.
It's
jeez.
Obviously, he's ridiculous last season. 1,400 yards. But I think he had the most receptions last year out of all of them. He had 125 receptions, 9 touchdowns. It's about 10 yards a catch. It's not that I don't like him. I think again, him and surprisingly my 4 kind of swapped around each other. Because if when I have
Where'd
5,
you have him 6?
Yeah, 6. Him and my 5 was kind of stuck at 5. But my 4 and him, it was like
That's weird.
I can't even explain it. Because whoever at 4,
Does he go here or here?
I just like, do I put him in there at a high or do I not? And well, Michael, obviously, I think he's probably with Julio. He's the kind of fellow. He's the strongest in the air when it comes to bringing the ball down. And he's only in the league 3 years. When you think about it, you think he's there longer. He's in the league 3 years, and every year he's over 1,000 yards and nearly over 10 touchdowns every year. And I don't know if I put him down there because of the system he's in compared to the rest. I don't know. I can't explain why I put him down 6. Because I just had him. The fellas I have ahead of him, I think, are.
You had to keep ahead of him.
Yeah, more impressive when you just by the eye test when we look at them play. I think they have more than him. But obviously he's unbelievable.
Michael Thomas stats just kind of build up over the game, and you don't really see some amazing.
Like you know the catches he has. He's been, which is weird for one of them, but he just seems to always be who's looked at for passes. Even with Kamara there, even with Ted Ginn and all these kind of. Even Brandon Cooks is there. I think he's still definitely over 100 yards receptions again. Like so, I don't know why I just couldn't. When I looked at eye test the other players, I couldn't find a reason to put him ahead of them, other than looking at stats. But then when I go back to when you watch them, the 5 I have ahead of him, I can't put behind him.
Okay, so my number 6 is Tyreek Hill.
Oh, that's whoa.
Yeah, I had him very high up.
Oh, I'd never had him past 9, I'd say.
No, I couldn't put him any lower really, but just because of
He's the most dangerous.
The speed. But like once he has the ball, if it's a reception of like 5 yards, he can fly down the field and turn it into like 20.
Yeah, he's another fellow who can't argue being up high up because he's most dangerous, probably dangerous offensive player in the entire league.
Plus, every time, I'm pretty sure I remember last season, you turn on red zone. If you miss the first 10 minutes of red zone, you've missed a Tyreek Hill touchdown at the start of the game.
Whether it's a good return or it's just a catch, he's just gone.
Because it was always just, and it was always him taking the ball short and flying down the field. It was painful.
He's the kind of player as well this year. I wouldn't be surprised with Kareem Hunt gone. You could probably put him at running back.
Yeah.
They could do toss plays to him,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if they get
Gone.
extreme pass, he's very. I think it'd be interesting to see what they do with him this year, because last year he really popped last year compared to his other seasons, especially last year. And then my 5, I'm not sure, I can't remember where you had him, is my opinion the most underrated wide receiver in the league.
Mike Evans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had him there. Like we said, 1,500 yards, 17 yards per catch, only 86 catches, 8 touchdowns. I think he's not in as bad a situation as AJ Green is, or Andy Dalton. And
It's just another guy being let down by the system.
Yeah, like he's never had a decent coach there that I can remember, because I hate. Oh, it's not Bill O'Brien. Was it Brooks Koepka was there? I can't remember. All I remember is that I hated every offense system he's been in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no, they haven't had anything going for him recently.
No, and like he's like OJ Howard's there now, so I think like last year OJ Howard was really tough until he got injured. But another underrated tight end. He's only in the league a year or two. But yeah, I think he's been the man who's carried him since he's been there. I think he's another fellow with 1,000 yards every season he's been there. I think, from what I remember.
I mean, you can argue that they went from quarterback to quarterback, and the quarterbacks always threw a lot of yards and touchdowns. But like, there's two different systems you have to get used to over and over when they switch every time. So.
And again, Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's never trustworthy. You get those 4 games started where he throws ridiculous amounts. Yeah. And I think last year a lot of it was taken away from Deshaun Jackson called a lot, because all they were doing was throwing it deep. It's like you went with Jameis, who's afraid to throw it deep, and you Fitzpatrick, who all he wants to do is throw it deep and risk everything.
And it would either be a pick or a touchdown.
So I just feel horrendous for him, because he just absolute workhorse for that team.
Yeah. And it's never just like use Mike Evans. It's just throw it and see what happens, see how it goes to, kind of thing.
There's no creativity there. Like I say, he's one of my favourite players in the league anyway. Yeah. Just because you see him play and all he does is work and work and work. Yeah. He's never. I don't think he's ever. I would be surprised if he ever makes playoffs. Honestly, if he stays in Tampa Bay, very surprised if he ever makes playoffs. Yeah. No matter what people say about what they've got.
Be sad.
Yeah, him and AJ Green are just very.
They should team up somewhere else.
So who's your 5?
My 5 is Antonio Brown. I mean, he's automatic. He has been automatic with Ben. I mean, he might not even be in the game this season, so he might retire because of his helmet.
I'd nearly put him a top 10 just his fucking attitude.
Yeah, no, but he's been like an automatic kind of thing with, I don't know how many times I've said that now, but with Ben Roethlisberger, but that was just because Ben would look his way literally every time and throw it up towards him, but he'd always bring it down. Stats wise, he has 104 receptions, nearly 1,300 yards, and 15 touchdowns, which you can't argue the 15 touchdowns really. And
the weirdest thing was last year, no one, like I remember we said it, I don't know what week was it, like week 10 we said, why is nobody talking about Antonio Brown? Yeah. He had like, I think he had around 10.
That's just cause, I think because the Steelers fell off.
Yeah, because I think, but like it was like, the weirdest thing with him and the Raiders now is how weird he's being and how entitled he sounds. Yeah. But then last year, when he was playing, I didn't, like, from my memory anyway, I don't remember seeing any issues with him during the game. Yeah. He was always just went out, did his business, went home. Like 15 touchdowns and no one was talking about him.
Yeah, all the issues last year seemed to be with Ben.
Yeah, no one talked about it at all last year. Yeah. He went from being, everyone saying he's the best wide receiver in the league before, to just because the Steelers are in trouble, no one talking about it at all. Yeah. It was like Aaron Rodgers again, from our other video we said, no one talked about Aaron Rodgers being so good last year. Yeah. It's Antonio Brown's like the wide receiver version of that.
It'll be so sad now if to see him like.
If he doesn't play because his helmet, I've lost all respect for that man.
And how bad would you feel for the Raiders? Oh my god, they had everything.
No, and then who did this fella? I assume you have up high.
You're number 4, is it? Okay.
Is Odell Beckham?
We have the same number 4.
You have a 4?
Yeah.
Ooh, I thought you had him. Thought you might have him at 1 or close to 1.
No.
But I thought you were very close. No. Yeah, he's like. When I saw Stephen A. Smith saying that he wasn't top 5, it was ridiculous. But then again, he was the fellow swapping Michael Thomas back and forth. Oh, but then I looked, because he only played 12 games last year because of injury. Yeah. So like Michael Thomas had a full season, and Odell still had 13 yards a catch, 6 touchdowns, only 77 catches.
6 touchdowns, Jesus Christ.
That's just what I mean.
Yeah, he needs to start playing in a better system, which he's about to be doing. So.
Him and Baker, I think he's going to be light and day with him and Baker than him and Eli Manning. Oh yeah, because he's Baker who's going to trust him first of all, and he's going to go deep. Which Odell is, him and Hopkins could argue for the most dangerous deep ends in the whole league, and Antonio probably as well. But just from recent memories, it's Odell and DeAndre Hopkins where the ball's thrown. He's just so athletic. He's probably the most athletic in the whole thing, to be honest. Whole league is probably.
And he's
the most
also
athletic.
got the speed where he can just fly down.
Yeah, he's got the separation. He's got the catches. He's smart. He gets away with doing the wrong route because he's so athletic, but still he's not stupid.
It'll actually be nice to see him not with the Giants, as much as it pains me to see.
Let's see him not kicking nets because he's so frustrated.
Yeah,
he might be in the playoffs next year. We don't know, but he's definitely going to be. I think enjoying the game while you're playing is a big impact on how you play as well.
Yeah.
And he's going to enjoy it a lot more next season. So I think he might end up higher, but the three I have ahead of him, I couldn't just look at and what I remember about them, I couldn't have him higher. Didn't fuck up.
I'm trying to think now because I can't remember who you've said and who you haven't. Who you're going to have in your top three because you have Michael Thomas so low. So who's your number three? Because we both had the same number 4.
Oh, we know number 4. DeAndre Hopkins was my number 3.
Okay.
My hop skipping the man. That's
okay.
DeAndre. The two I have ahead of him.
We have different.
The two I had ahead of him. My one, I think nobody touches him in the first place. There's no one gets near what this man does.
Very different.
Oh, we know who my one is from.
Oh yeah.
My one since he got in the league. I don't think you can touch this man. My number one. So we're not there yet. But DeAndre Hopkins, I have 3. Obviously, he's a lot to deal with, but I think he. How do I argue with 3? He's 3. Oh God!
How do I argue putting him this low?
Like I can't argue people putting him higher.
I mean, yeah, they're all kind of at the same elite level when you get to the top 3.
That's what I
so
mean. It's just the 3. Him and
there's
2.
not much separating them.
No, him and 2 could be swapped easily just because of. Do you even know who my last? You know my top 2 are?
No, I don't know who you're. No. Oh, I do.
You should do.
I do.
You know my 1 is, so you should probably know my 2.
I do. I know. Okay.
When it comes to my 3, him and my number 2, you could swap, but I think history of.
I feel like we should we just do top 3 all in one go?
Right.
Should we just blow it out the water here?
My 3.
So 3, 2, and 1. Your 3 is Hopkins.
Hopkins.
Name them all, then we'll chat.
Hopkins at 3.
Okay.
Antonio Brown at 2.
Yeah.
And Julio Jones at 1 because he is the greatest I've ever seen.
And my order is Julio Jones at 3.
Oh, what? Whoa! Who the hell's 2 and 1?
Michael Thomas at 2 and DeAndre Hopkins at 1.
Michael Thomas at 2?
DeAndre Hopkins is my favourite receiver in the game, so I had to put him at number 1.
Julio! Are we screaming?
I did debate that for a long time.
It's obsessed me more than the Brady thing. I
mean, you were upset with yourself with the Brady thing.
Who's going to 3?
So why Hopkins at the bottom?
Because he's not Julio Jones, he's 3. I can. Hopkins at 1 is fine. Julio at 3. I can't.
It was between Julio at 2 or 3. It was never going to be 1.
Who's your 2? Oh, Michael Thomas was your 2. I knew Hopkins would be your 1 because you love him.
Yeah.
And it's from last year, definitely he could be your 1.
Or DeAndre Hopkins is a highlight reel.
Oh, I think he makes
a
the
man-made
most
highlight reel.
He makes the most out of nothing when it comes to catching and stuff.
And he had a ridiculous catch literally every game last season.
A lot didn't even count. That's
my reason for having Hopkins number 1.
That's a friendship tarnished a bit there. I don't think anyone.
I think 2 and 3 are on the same kind of level for me. It was just
I can't. I don't know. This is throwing me off completely. The Julio's like 2. I could have expected Julio 2.
Bro, how long did it take him to get a touchdown last season?
Because he's in a. No, I can't. I understand, but I can't see. He's been in the league 6-7 years. I can't. People have said Antonio Brown's been better than him. I couldn't say he was. People said Odell's been better than him.
I mean, I had Antonio Brown way down. So. And
the thing with Julio is we had 300 yards in the game, which we can never forget about. And he's still
I'll never forget about that because of the fantasy impact it had on your goddamn team because you had 40 or 50 points from him.
I just think since he's came in the league from rookie year, I don't know how good his rookie year was, but he's been there 6-7 years now. He's in his 30s and he's still, to me, he's the strongest wide receiver there is. He's the hardest working no matter what. Because last year now, he had Calvin Ridley getting all the catches and touchdowns. He had Mohamed Sanu getting all the catches and touchdowns. There was a lot of stuff that was people ignore, like we saw, he took him weeks to get touchdowns, and he still finished over 8. I think from week maybe 9 or 10 he didn't get a touchdown. That might be, but I can't remember fully. But even then, from then I got 8 touchdowns. He had 1,600 yards, almost 1,700, 15 yards a catch. But when you watch him, it's like he gets 40 yards a catch because he's the only wide receiver I have who could boil over 4 players. He could juke 7.
Yeah.
He could catch over 10. I was a bit exaggeration, but I just think, for me, he's been arguably my favourite player in the league since he's got in the league. And it's not from bias, because I'm not a Falcons fan, never have been. We destroyed them in the Super Bowl that time, 28-3 was the start of that. But
funny, Julio Jones is better, maybe they won.
Oh man, he has Matt Ryan, decent very good quarterback. First of all, very good, very.
They didn't really have a run game last year.
No,
hence was a lot of throwing.
Devontae Freeman was injured a lot last year.
Yeah. He was out pretty much the whole season because when he came back, he got injured straight away.
Yeah, and Tevin Coleman's not that good, and Ish Smith is not.
Even the run game that they had was more of a throw game because.
And you've even seen him on sweeps. They've done sweeps with Julio Jones. You wouldn't think he's so quick, he's so strong, he's so smart, he's so beautiful. I just think, for me, he's this kind of fella. For me, when I watch him every year, I want to watch a Falcons game just to see him. Even if I don't care who they're playing, even if it was them and the Browns and the Browns were terrible, I just wanted to watch Julio Jones every game.
Love a bit of Julio Browns.
And I think it's just, and then Antonio Brown too. I just think, like again, 15 touchdowns last year, and no one talks about him. He's the kind of fella. He just has everything. But I
think it'll be interesting to see Antonio Brown go without a quarterback that doesn't just chuck things in his direction.
And it'd be like he just doing so, and the fact he's doing some stupid shit. His helmet now.
Oh yeah.
And his foot. He went into a cryogenic chamber without socks on.
Oh, I did, yeah.
I was listening to a thing, and someone was saying,
"Oh yeah, because he had frostbite, didn't he?
His feet were falling apart." He's supposed to be Tony Toe Tap. How can you be Tony Toe Tap? You can't feel your feet.
It's just his toes to be Tony Toe Tap.
Oh my god, he just frustrates me because he's so good.
Oh god.
But like, I don't know if he's putting it on the off season just because he's with the Raiders and Hard Knocks. Is he doing like the mustache and crap? Like like the only thing I can say to him is fair play for forcing that trade. He wanted to get out of there. He got out of there.
You just have to feel bad for the Raiders though, because look what they've gotten themselves.
Yeah, and they've lost Khalil Mack, they've lost Amari Cooper, and now they hope Antonio Brown be the kind of guy there.
One of the best receivers in the league.
Yeah,
and just taking a piss.
If he's gone, who do you have? Tyrell Williams, Jonathan Jacobs. Like they don't have anything if he's gone.
And like even if he's not being serious about all this shit, he shouldn't be saying it.
He shouldn't be doing it.
It brings bad luck for the Raiders.
That's what I mean. It's just like how your team is going to look at you when you are doing this stuff that's like jeopardizing entire seasons on you.
Yeah.
They have no defense. Their offense, they've Luke Wilson at tight end. They've
a dodgy quarterback.
Yeah, and like you're supposed to be friends with your quarterback. Everyone's looking forward to this whole chemistry thing. How you build chemistry in the off season if you're not there because you went in a cryogenic chamber? It goes like minus 200 degrees.
You froze your toes and threw a bitch fit about a helmet.
Minus 200 degrees and you've no socks on. It's fair. Like you wear like socks. Like what goes through your head saying, "Oh, I'm gonna pop in this minus 200 degrees without socks on"? I'm not going outside on a windy day without shoes on. They don't have socks. It's just.
Oh, it's good stuff.
He's just.
No.
He's the kind of fella. It's just his game has to speak for him because he's a moron. Like. Oh, and who do you and Michael Thomas to?
Yeah.
How is you two over Julio Jones? Julio Brown's the only thing. How would you have him 2 over Julio Jones? I'm not going to punch you.
Well, I mean, I had them at the same kind of level. It was just who would I pick, and I had the Saints as the better option over the Falcons, realistically.
Yeah, you can give that. Yeah, he did. He held that team. He didn't hold the team together really, because they were. I really like again. I think the reason I'm having so low is because his system. Because like
who,
the system
Mike
Thomas
Thomas
is in. Because he didn't. You know, Patriots wide receiver or Rams wide receiver in there because of systems. Like Julio, like Julian Edelman, I adore, but he's not a top 10 wide receiver because the system. It's the system and how hard he works is why he's so good. It's not necessarily how skilled he is compared to the rest of them. And then you have like fellas above him, Mike Evans, shitty system. Odell, probably the worst system in Giants. Hopkins, they struggle a lot. Like he had to make a lot of nothing because of how much
he had to make the highlight
Watson
catches.
had to move because that offense
but I love that man.
Broken. Antonio Brown, Steelers. Like even last year, like they have a good offense anyway every year because Mike Tomlin is a very good offensive coach, and they had Ben Roethlisberger, who I don't like, but he's always going to be solid enough.
Yeah.
And I think Antonio's just up there because he's still the stuff he does. You
He
can't.
still
Really,
grabs everything.
yeah, he's still up there. He's still reliable as fuck. So that's kind of why.
Maybe not without his toes though.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they're frozen. But yeah, I can argue. I'm disappointed as hell Julio Jones is third. That's never gonna go.
I mean, Hopkins is more my type of receiver, and Jones
No,
is
yeah,
just more type of yours, really.
Yeah, it does come down a lot to opinions at the end of it.
Yeah.
Who you rather watch and who you rather, because like I said, Julio Jones is up there with the likes of like JJ Watt and Adrian Peterson. Those fellas I just love to watch play,
Yeah.
and I think he backs it up a lot with how he plays anyway. But I can see why you can swap those top three around for me anyway.
I like my flashy football.
Yes, you like a flashy football. I like fellas who beat you in the mouth.
You like someone who'll truck you dead on the floor.
Yeah, but again with him, Julio Jones. Oh, it's my ultimate NFL man crush probably is Julio Jones. I just love watching him play. I gotta stop talking about it now because I'm gonna keep saying things over and over again.
Should we move on to honourable mentions?
Yes, honourable mentions. I think both of my
So I had two.
yeah, one of my honourable mentions is in your list.
Thielen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
He was my 10, so.
he was in there until I looked at Stephon Diggs having 1,000 yards as well. Like, and I
Yeah.
thought when I looked at it, I was like,
He's not the only one.
he's not the only one. It's obviously what way they were playing, who they were playing.
Yeah.
I think like if Diggs can do it and Thielen can do it similar enough, if I can't really put Thielen in there and not put Diggs in there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think how they perform is very similar. But Thielen's a better wide receiver, alright. I can give him that. Who's your honourable mention then? Who are you honourable mention?
My first honourable mention is Julian Edelman.
I rate it.
Yeah.
Rate it.
Because, like you said just now, you can't really justify putting him in the top 10
No.
above any of the other guys.
Skill wise.
But he's still a solid guy.
He's still one of the
to go
safest
into.
you can put in there.
Yeah. And then the other, I had Amari Cooper.
Ooh, that's not a bad. I completely left him out of everything.
Yeah.
Mostly because Cowboys, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
that's not a bad way.
His stats, though, are much lower than I expected him to be. He had 53 receptions, 725 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
Raiders.
Yeah, I
That's
suppose
all
he
I can
did
say.
start up there, didn't he?
How so he's there? The deadline was when he went to the Cowboys. He had eight games with Cowboys and just blew up.
Yeah, exactly.
But again,
he had huge stats when he went there
Yeah.
first.
and we think about it, you can argue like he is a fella I think this season could be top 10 because with the whole Zeke situation. And then I think last year it was almost unfair on him because the Raiders was a terrible situation. They didn't use him properly at all.
Yeah.
Halfway through the season, he goes to a team where they're 20, 30 carries a game with Zeke. So you're not passing it that much. So he's kind of been unlucky to two situations he's got into. He's in a better one now,
Yeah.
and I think he nearly benefit from Zeke.
I mean,
not
he's
being
their
there.
one go-to guy on the pass now, so.
Yeah, because they got rid of Cole Beasley's gone. Des
I
Bryant
almost called him
gone.
Mike Beasley for a second.
What Beasley?
Mike Beasley.
Mother of God. Basketball podcast. Yeah, I didn't even think. I didn't even put him anywhere near it. My honourable mention was Keenan Allen.
Yeah, see, I had him down, but then I left him out because he was going to be another honourable mention, but I kept it to two.
I had him in the list at one stage, but then I kept I got for all this stuff. I went back and watched him play and stuff,
Yeah.
and he's not that blow you out of the water athletic. He's a very smart route runner. He's very good. Like he's kind of what Devontae Adams with the moves he makes. He's very, very intricate with the kind of move he makes. You see the stuff in preseason. It's not just preseason he's doing it. He's doing it all last year. It's just because with the LA Chargers, and people didn't really take notice of him.
Yeah.
And he still had. I think he had the lowest yards almost. Bar AJ Green was injured. He didn't even have 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns and 97 catches. Like, again, the offense is weird. They had Melvin Gordon who ran a lot. When he got injured, they still ran a good bit with Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson, and like
They had a lot of players on that team.
Mike
picking up
Williams
big
and
yards
Terrell
as well.
Williams.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen wasn't their deep guy, but I think he could be. But he used Mike Williams at deep.
Yeah.
He used Terrell Williams deep. Terrell's gone now. I think not the Raiders. So I think this year.
If they didn't have so many guys, maybe his stats would be bumped
Yeah,
up.
it's the kind of fella like you kind of be careful looking at his stats because they're underwhelming. So you kind of think he's not as good.
Yeah.
But when you watched him, he's just. It's almost like Rivers didn't look his way enough because he still got a lot of catches.
Yeah.
But like the Chargers kind of built their way up the field every time, and I think he was kind of used kind of like similar way Julio Jones was at the start of the season. he was used to get up there, and then they gave it to Ridley, they gave it to Sanu.
They're not really massive play guys.
Yeah, and then like he's not a red. I think he's. It's a lot of speculation, but I think I think if the Chargers used him more in the red zone, his touchdowns would blow completely. Because I think he's the kind of guy he'll make you miss on the goal line very easily. Same as Devontae Adams does.
I feel like Rivers likes to go to his tight ends in the end zone as well.
Yeah, he had last year.
No, it was
Hunter Henry was injured a lot.
Yeah,
but he was very good when he was in. They still gave it to Antonio Gates a lot.
Yeah,
he still got.
And then they had some other random guy who was in when Antonio Gates wasn't there.
So yeah, no, I think he's like, again. I had him in the list, but there's other fellas just jumped out a lot more. Like I said, I think he's he's one of the smartest and most clever wide receivers you'd see.
Yeah.
But he's not the most. He's not going to blow you out of the water or anything. But this year might change again with the system changing and whatever the hell is going on with Melvin Gordon and what they're going to be. So last system's going to be lot. So do you want to run through your 10 honorable mentions again?
Sure.
Makes it easy.
Because we have an honorable mentions, we can't even say that we left them out because they don't deserve to be in the top 10. It's just you can't put them in.
Yeah, we like they're kind of
these other guys.
Want to put in there, but
yeah,
like Amari Cooper, I don't know why I think of Amari Cooper. Again, I suppose.
Right, so my 10 was Adam Thielen, 9 Juju Smith-Schuster, 8 Mike Evans, 7 Devontae Adams, 6 Tyreek Hill, 5 Antonio Brown, 4 Odell Beckham, 3 Julio Jones, 2 Michael Thomas, and 1 DeAndre Hopkins.
Do you know what I had in there a while as well? Brandon Cooks in there for a while.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many people we can
There's
go
so
through
many people.
at least honourable mention.
He was my third honorable mention, but I left him out for Allen, and because I feel like Allen's going to disrespect it somewhat a bit.
Yeah.
So my honorable mentions were Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, and then Tyreek Hill at 10, T.Y. Hilton at 9, Devontae Adams at 8, AJ Green at 7, Michael Thomas at 6, Mike Evans at 5, Odell Beckham at 4, Hopkins at 3, Antonio Brown at 2, and Julio Jones at 1.
I'm glad we both had Odell at 4.
Yes, that's the only. I think it's the only fella we got.
No,
Adams
the only person even slightly. Oh yeah,
Adams was close.
I think you had him at 6. Did you?
Adams at 8.
Oh, and I had him at 7. I think.
Yeah, they were close enough.
Something like that.
I'm not actually surprised they're very different lists.
Yeah.
There's some like Amari Cooper was thrown in there, and that's really catching me off guard. You put in there. It was our mention, but still in there.
Just because I see the Cowboys so much.
That's true.
I don't want to see the Cowboys so much, but.
And that's our top 10 finish.
Alas, I have to. So next we will be doing running backs for our next top 10 video.
That's going to be very different to each other. Bar the one.
Probably.
One should be the same. For once it should be the same.
We'll see.
Yes, yes.
We have an NBA free agency recap video coming, which we're still not sure how we're going to do it, because if we do like everything that happened in free agency, we could be there for hours.
I think we should do what we're doing now, what we've planned, and then see what reaction we get from certain people about it.
We'll see anyway.
Yeah. And then we're going to keep up to date with the preseason games as well. It's going to be hard because I'll be in Limerick, but I'll be back anyway.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be keeping up preseason games every weekend as well. They'll probably be on Mondays, give or take, for the first. Well, we see. It depends how games line up. We're trying to get them all in.
And there'll be plenty of reviews of games and recaps on our Twitter.
Yes.
Which is @TasteOfSport. The link will be in the description down below. And we're there every day, lots of times a day.
Every day.
At least 10, but it's getting closer to at least 20 every day now. So.
And especially if you're into baseball, and if anyone wants me to do any baseball stuff, actually let us know if you want to see baseball stuff, because on Twitter it's nearly our most active thing is baseball.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because there's every team there plays every day.
Yeah, and there's probably not as much coverage as everything else.
No, and there's playoffs coming up in.
It's a niche in the market, bro.
A niche in the market, and there's playoffs coming up soon. So.
Right, so that's gonna be it from us. Thank you guys if you've made it this far for watching it all. Let us know if you have any feedback for us in the comment section below, and let us know what your top 10 would have been.
Julio Jones at 1, maybe.
Maybe DeAndre Hopkins at 1.
Maybe not.
Thank you guys. Bye.